Good evening, humans. Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the Combatants Fight for Glory Kasos, the Crasher figure from XesRay Studio. Let's do this. Aesthetically speaking, this figure looks fantastic, and obviously we've seen this body now twice. Certainly, from those of you watching my channel, because more recently I did review Thales, Vitalis. I'm actually not sure how to pronounce that now that I'm saying it, or Katuta. So both the same body, all built off that same buck. And you can see a lot of the armor bits are the same as well. So stuff we've seen. So I'm going to kind of try and focus on the differences here. And obviously we get a little bit more shading in the muscles here. So got that going on. So that's a little more defined. It's kind of cool to see, again, just the variation between the three as well. And beyond that, we did see this forearm piece on Katuta. This shoulder piece is completely new. This belt was on both, obviously different colors all around. We got this nice bright silver going on here with these spikes. We got the nice leather texture going on. It's a little bit more neutral and natural looking here for Kasos than the kind of fabric bits that are actually plastic, which are actually beautifully sculpted as well. I think I've said that before, but like seeing it in the three different colors definitely kind of brings that out. We got blue here. Then the fur piece here is more of his actual natural color, which is kind of interesting, where it was more offset on the previous two. Then we get a new belt piece or belt buckle. We get like a straight up steer skull, very nicely sculpted. Some really nice kind of like touches of black here at the end of the horns. Then we've seen all the rest of this before, like even the chain we saw on Thales. Then we get a completely new head sculpt. So we get the kind of horns coming up. Very, very nice. Great head sculpt. Great shading. Actually, probably the best shading overall. Nice bright red eyes. We get the inside of the mouth painted and sculpted as well. See the teeth going all the way back. And then even these little like horns on the horns. These actually come off. So I'm not counting them as accessories because they came on in the box, but kind of a cool touch and nice that you can remove them. So yeah, just overall fantastic looking figure and just a great reuse of an existing sculpt. Really nice loaded accessories. Once again, very similar to what we saw with the previous two figures. So starting off with the hands, we get some grips right outside the box. Then we get a pair of fists. And finally, a pair of grasping / open hands. Then we get two separate sets of feet. We do get, kind of our standard humanoid feet. And then we do get a pair of hooves with the nice wraps, some really good paint here. It is articulated here at the foot. See, it's a little limited, especially with the hairs coming down here. But still awesome they include that. I haven't replaced these on any of the figures yet, but obviously the balance is gonna be a little more precarious that way, but still awesome that they included it. And finally, you get his axe. This is unique. This was not included with either of the two previous figures. Fantastic detailing going on here, especially with the darker iron color. And then obviously where it's heavily used, it's much brighter silver. It's been worn down. Lots of nicks and all this other fine detail going on. We got rivets and all the finer pieces kind of keeping this attached to the wood. And then we get the nice wraps, beautiful wash going over that as well, give it some age. And then we see similar pattern here at the bottom. So yeah, that will do it for accessories. Articulation, balance here are awesome just as they have been. As you can see, freestanding kicks, no problem. Then getting into the finer points, we are on a barbell joint from the neck into the head. And for this head sculpt, we are coming up about that far. So not really looking up, we are looking forward relatively well, but we can't really get into those running poses as much as we couldn't with Katuta, which is a little unfortunate. But I guess you're gonna be goring with the horns anyway. So that's, kind of here nor there, I guess. Then we get about that much down. That's pretty much our neutral, which again is kind of up. So there's that. We get some side to side. It's kind of popping off. So we get side to side that way. Obviously we can rotate as well. So then we get opening and closing mouth. So we can open about that far, shut about that far. We do get our butterfly joints. So not so much on the back, but we do get some forward. we're definitely running into the sculpt here in the back. So we're getting to about neutral that way, and then we're popping out and forward about that way, which does give us some nice poses. So we have that. We have hinge and swivel at the arms. So we're coming up about that far. So just about our teeth, maybe a little bit lower, and this does not inhibit because, as you can see, this plate is actually attached to the piece on the bicep. Speaking of which, we do get bicep swivel as well. We get single jointed elbows, bringing us to 90. Then we get a swivel, hinge, swivel here at the hands and get pretty much anywhere we want to go there. Then we get a ball joint at the diaphragm, ball joint at the waist, and sculpt is a little tight. So let me get the arm out of the way here. So we're getting some okay forward, some better arch back, and some side to side. You can hear a little bit of squeaking there. Could definitely use some shock oil. Coming to the hips, complete splits, totally beautiful. Going forward, get almost 90, not quite, but still pretty good. We do get bicep swivel. Again, you hear a lot of squeaking, so definitely shock oil on these figures. You get double jointed knees, bring us to there, which is actually beautiful. And then for the feet, we do get some very nice point, some fantastic forward, and some beautiful rocker as well. So that will do it for articulation. Getting into size comparisons, here he is with Katuta and Thales, with other various big boys, with some domestics, with some imports, with some monsters. Finally, with an articulated icons Oni and yours truly in human form as a Valaverse Action Force figure. So my final thoughts on the Combatants Fight for Glory Kasos figure is that this figure rules. Again, we have seen this buck like 2 times previously. This is now the 3rd time. It's awesome every time. They do a great job with it, especially with moving some of the accessories and some of the, kind of accoutrements around. So yeah, definitely fully recommend it, especially if you're into like just really big figures. You're looking for a Minotaur for your collection. Can't go wrong here. So yeah, fully recommend it. It is available from a few different online resources, so I'll have a link or 2 in the description below if you are interested. And that being said, I hope you found this review informative and somewhat entertaining, because if you did, I hope to see you back. I do multiple reviews a week of action figures related to tokusatsu, dinosaurs, monsters, pro wrestling, and more. So if any of that appeals to you, come on back. Let's escape the world for a little bit. Just talk about some beautiful plastic, and ultimately, I just hope you're well. Hope that all of your toy dreams come true, and most importantly, I hope that you and yours stay weird, simians.